All right. So I'm gonna put this right here. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Andy Martinez Jr., sometimes referred to as AMJ Martinez AU. But for about 5 years, I was referred to as the Uber driver. I drove for Uber. Let's see, about 5 years ago, I got started. 6 years now. Um, so just to give you a little backstory on what was going on with me at the time, I was getting separated. I was going through a divorce. My wife at the time and I worked at the same place. She was there first, and she made more money. I quit my job there and set out on my own. Got a little boy at the time. My son Enzo is, I don't know, let's see where he's at right here. Boom, he's right there in the middle. He's 9, and he was probably like 3 at the time. I needed a gig, and Uber was everywhere. I live in Los Angeles, California, and Uber seemed like an easy thing to do. You just buy a car, you drive around, and you make some pocket money. When I started with Uber, I really only thought it was going to be very, very temporary, and it turned into a 5-year endeavor. And technically, I am still an Uber driver because on my phone, I still keep my app active. So what I want to do with this particular blog on today, I want to call this one blog number 1, True Uber Stories, and I want to share with you how I went from being an Uber driver, not sure what else I wanted to do in my life, to getting to a point where I had this epiphany, my moment, and where I had an idea, and to where I am today, and continue to share that with you because I know that all of us, we follow these guys, and you see all these people that have their, they're selling you on their products, and they're telling you how you can become rich, and all these wonderful things, and all these guys are amazing and very knowledgeable and very helpful. But the thing that I miss the most is I always wish you could kind of see them really where they got started. And a lot of guys like Grant Cardone and Tony Robbins, we didn't have this little camera here for them to document. So you only got to see them when they were doing their thing on fire at an early age. So I'm putting this out here now because amazing things are starting to happen in my life, and I don't want you to in the future, when you do see like my own other little marketing video or me sitting in my jet, I want you to see the humble beginnings. So for starters, I am sitting at my dinner table, which also doubles as my desk. I got my laptop right here, and behind me, this is my little workstation. I also share this desk with RVN Fit, Rebecca Vanetta. You should check her out. She's a fitness personality, and her star is on the rise too. And she's great to follow. She went from just basically training anybody that would pick up the phone, and now she's training some celebrities on TV series like Orange is the New Black and Doom Patrol and a lot of other artists. She's badass, and she's my girl. So, and she's also a big part of my journey. So I live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. Yes, it's LA. Yes, it's expensive. During my breakup and my divorce, I amassed about, I don't know, it's $80,000 of credit card debt. I was basically paying my bills, paying my rent, cashing out cards, getting those, they send you those checks. You apply for a card, you put $5,000 check in your checking account, you got 21 months to pay it off. And those 21 months just came and went real fast. Next thing you know, you're paying 30% interest, and I am up to here in debt. Uber was not paying the bills. I was barely getting by. Often I would, miss my credit card payment. I started learning the credit card routine. And as long as I didn't hit that 30-day mark and made my minimum payment on day 29, I knew I was good because I was conscientious of protecting my credit report. I was living to pay bills. I know most of you are doing the same thing, living to pay bills. I wanted to get out of that vicious cycle. I was miserable, I was grumpy, I was not happy, and I needed to make a change. So quick, I was in the real estate business when I was a kid. My father owned a real estate office. My father's also a CPA. So I'd always been around it. I always loved it. I always was good at it. And it was a different time. There was no internet. There was no smartphone. And I didn't want to go sit in a class. I wanted to come out to LA and be a movie star, and that's exactly what I did. But when I was moving to LA, the first thing I did was sign up for class because I was going to get my real estate license, and that was going to be my side hustle. I'm in the middle of my class. I got a phone call that I book a job on a movie, and I take the fuck off, and I'm going to be a movie star. And after I'm a movie star, I'm going to come back to real estate, and I'm going to be an investor. Sounded awesome at the time. Next thing I know, about 8-9 years blew by, and I'm bouncing around from job to job, still working on TV, still making some movies, you know, waiting for that big break, that next commercial, just book another commercial, or that pilot season, you know, or that TV series, or that movie's gonna come out, waiting for all these amazing things to happen. Yet I was living hand to mouth, and I wasn't 25 anymore like I was when I moved out to LA. I was pushing 34, 35 at the time, and I was broke and miserable, because it sucks to be a divorcee and have a child and be broke. Buddy of mine was having some trouble with a real estate transaction. I happened to bump into him at the corner outside of his condominium. He was selling his condo. It was like a $600,000 condo at the time, and he was buying like, I think, a $2 million place out in the valley, and just married. He's having some issues. I said, hey, you should ask the agent about this and that. And it was something really basic, like a lease option. Yes, I'm a realtor now, and I'm using that to launch my other endeavors. But he went back to his agent and he said, hey, can we do this, and that? And the agent said, yeah, I think we can do that. And my buddy was like, well, why did you suggest that in the first place? Anyway, my buddy closed a deal with this agent. He really didn't have a good experience with the guy. He didn't know the guy very well. And there was like a $70,000 commission. And my buddy looked at me and he said to me, why aren't you doing this? That hit me like right in the, it was painful. Fuck, a decade had flown by, and why am I not doing this? That's what he says. And it occurred to me, like, yeah, why am I not doing this? So I go through the process of getting my real estate license, and I'm gonna go through the classes and the 8-week course and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not gonna bore you with that. I'll tell you a little bit more about that story. But I got my real estate license and was Ubering at the time. I'm in my 5th year licensed here in Los Angeles. And the last 18 months have been pretty damn good. But let me tell you, it wasn't the first 6 months of those 18 months. So we're here in September of 2019. So going back, I don't know, March of 2018, I got my first opportunity to do a rental lease. And I didn't have the money to pay the MLS dues. So I referred it to another agent, and I got a 25% referral commission. That was my first transaction, was a referral, because I didn't have the money to send my clients listings. It was a tough time, and Uber was not really doing for me anything but sort of draining me, and I was desperate to find something else. And I kept feeling like I was spending all this time in this car and it wasn't benefiting me in any way, until I had my little moment. And in that moment, everything just switched. I realized that the problem wasn't with driving for Uber. The problem wasn't the Uber opportunity of being a driver, and I was actually missing out on some of the most wonderful lessons in the history and future of my life that I was picking up from being an Uber driver. As soon as I had my little epiphany, I went from one real estate transaction to I think 3 more. And then I got my first multi-million-dollar deal. And in my next video blog, I'm gonna share with you what I started doing differently and how I got that deal. So you gotta tune in. If you wanna hear more, hit the subscribe button below. I'm on Instagram at @TheAndyMartinez Jr. I got some really good things happening in the future, near future. Like right now, let me just tell you, I'm parked on the street. I don't got a driveway with a 6-car garage. There's no Lambo. There's no Ferrari. But Rebecca, she drives a 2007 Hyundai Accent. It's been running, it's been keeping us afloat, and I'm very, very grateful for that car, but I want more. I want a whole lot more. I got a Toyota Corolla out there. That was my Uber car. I've had 2 of them. 2 of them. Shit was so bad with Uber until I had my little mindset switch that my first Toyota Corolla was loaded, leather, the digital touchscreen. People would get in my car and they're like, man, what kind of car is this? And I'd be like, Toyota Corolla. They couldn't believe it. They thought they were in a Lexus. When I got rid of that car to get a new car so I can continue driving, I downgraded cloth seats, got rid of all the digital shit, had to pull the little lever to slide the seat back in front. I went backwards. I went freaking backwards. No sunroof. The little perks, the little things, and made things nice. I went backwards. So I want you to know, there's no Ferrari, Porsche, all right, to 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. I got wall units for AC. I got no employees except the wonderful people at Fiverr. Thank you. I'm gonna talk a lot about my marketing strategy because that's really where Uber stepped up and, man, taught me some really, really valuable lessons and changed my life. I'm very grateful to Uber. I got a 9.5-year-old boy. I coach the baseball team. I do the jiu-jitsu classes. I'm sitting in a swivel chair, that ain't leather. My laptop is a refurbished Acer. I'm not gonna bullshit you. All right, I got one of these little funky clip things with the light shining on my face to make me look good. I shaved my face. I put a little bit of lotion on, so that skin would look good. I'm not gonna lie to you, okay? Tune in, hit the subscribe button so that you can see that prompt. Find me on Instagram at @TheAndyMartinez Jr. TheAndyMartinez. I'm gonna share some shit with you. Don't miss out.